So I was not always the best at business, and that isn't to insinuate that we were not making sales. We were. We had almost 2 decades worth of making sales B2C, which is business to customer. But we weren't making the millions and millions like what people claim to be online and, all of that kind of thing. But then something rather remarkable happened about 2 years ago. For those that are watching in the future, it was 2021, that I had a spiritual transformation. And all of a sudden, I started working with the likes of Laurie Bischoff and Marcus Ogden, and we were doing, multi-million dollar pitches. We were doing all this kind of stuff. And it really taught me that once you get yourself in alignment, not only does the external circumstances take care of themselves, but also opportunities will open up to you that you were not ready for in the beginning parts. Plus, you also get to learn that the majority of people that are online, that are claiming to be multimillionaires, are lying. Hey everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Creative Business Made Simple. I am your host, John Morris, and if you haven't seen episode 1, I want to wish you a happy new year! But also go back and check episode 1 because it's all about starting a business, how to get going, how to get from where you are to where you want to be, and so much more. I am your host, John Morris, as I mentioned, the coach for the creative mind, the artist and author, and so much more. And it is a delight to be here with you once more in the studio, putting together these shows to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in your business endeavors. Today, we are going to be talking all about trust. Now, trust is one of the most important things that you can have, not only in your professional life, but also in life in general. It is the ultimate thing that is going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. It is the ultimate thing that can be the potential between catalyzing you off and just exploding you into the, in the atmosphere, the stratosphere and everything else. Or it can be the thing that brings you plummeting back down to earth faster than a 10-ton bag of rocks delivered to the ground from space. You can tell I'm pumped up and excited about this and so much more. So we want to talk obviously about trust. There are 3 pillars of trust that are really fundamental. Number 3 is going to absolutely blow your mind. But first of all, what I want you to do is go ahead and smash that subscribe button. You never want to miss an episode of Creative Business Made Simple, the only show that helps you get from where you are to where you want to be in your creative business endeavors and beyond, because we deal with you, the person, not just you, the business. So what is step number 1? Well, first of all, trust is a big thing. Now, a lot of these social media influencers are out there that are claiming to be millionaires, that are claiming to be billionaires, and Andrew Tate's deluded state claiming to be a trillionaire. And they're not. How do we know this? Because, as we've always said, study that which you desire to become, but also do the research. I always pride myself on being able to coin a phrase, and that is in my not so humble opinion, one of my favorites, because it's one of the areas that most people go wrong in because they don't do the research. It doesn't take that long. Just Google, start doing the research, start doing something. So I'm not the only one that started to really do research on people that were claiming to be multi-millionaires. Alex Amonzi, who is probably far more influence in the social media than I have at this point in time. Business owner, podcaster, YouTuber, bodybuilder, and so much more. He sat down and he did his own research, and what he found was out of 100%, only 5% of people who claim to be multimillionaires online are actually telling the truth. That means 95% of people online are lying to you. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important for the same reason right at the beginning, the header, the sort of hook, shall we say, was delivered to you. Because we want to build trust with you, we want to build reliability with you, we want to build the honesty with you. You spun the theme. Here's the thing. People lie because in this world of social media, they can literally take whatever it is that they have, the world that they inhabit, and they can convince you that they are doing amazing, that they're doing great business, that they're doing astronomical things, they're changing the world, and people will believe it. But here's the thing, when you're found out down the road that you're not perhaps as successful as what you claim to be, that you're not perhaps as bright as what you claim to be, that you're not perhaps as thrifty, as what you claim to be, then all of a sudden, that trust that people have built up with you gets smashed to pieces. So the first sort of pillar of trust is reliability. Is what you say, is what you do reliable? And what that means, reliability and consistency, I would say, kind of loop with each other. They're kind of sisters. They kind of marry up together. Because to be reliable means that I can do what I claim, I will do what I claim, and consistency means at the hour of need, at the time of struggle, when one of my clients is really suffering, I will be there. Can they pick up the phone and message you at any point in time, and you will give them the same answer today as you would tomorrow? And what that means is, well, if you say to me, John, are you reliable? It also means being truthful. I'm not going to tell you today, well, we're in a studio and there's a green screen behind me, but next week I'll actually say, this is actually my library. Oh, look at me, I live in here, Or, we're going to do something completely out of center or weird or, that you're not ready for. You have to be reliable in your approach as a human being and your approach as a business owner. That means if you fix fridges today, that you are not building wardrobes tomorrow. If you fix wardrobes today, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly running off doing AI crazy things the next day and trying to take over the world. So reliability is one of the biggest factors, one of the biggest pillars of trust. The next one, as we mentioned, is consistency. Is what you say today consistent tomorrow? Does it develop? Can you sort of fathom the idea? Furthering on from that, I always think one of the most important things with regards to trust is honesty. As you'll find in this series, we're going to be talking about things that we have personally gone through in business. Team problems, personal problems, family, relational, business struggles, how to deal with the customer that literally believes they are right, in every sense of the word. How to admit when you have made a blunder. It's just that. When you're willing to admit that you've made a blunder, that something that you've attempted to do hasn't gone as you wanted it to do, or as the customer expected it to do, the worst thing that you can do is say, well, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything. I didn't have anything to do with it, sir. It's the worst thing you can do. You know what the best thing to do is? Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, I intended to do X, but unfortunately, this happened. This is how I will put it right. See how easy that was. Now, what does that do? Well, first of all, it acknowledges that you've cocked up. It acknowledges as well that you're human. I don't care how good the business is. I don't care how good sort of the marriage ceremony and everything else is in your professional life. To be able to admit that there has been an issue is one of the greatest things that you can actually do. The second staple of that is then being able to say, this is how I intend to put it right. Let me give you a prime example. So we worked with a courier company many years ago, who I'm going to remain nameless. But they had an atrocious record with us of losing parcels, or delivering parcels and paintings to the wrong address, or the wrong country. I would say the wrong planet, but unfortunately, that would be an exaggeration. But you get the point. And I spoke to them many, many times about this until eventually I said, we're done with you. We are not having this anymore, because we were doing thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of business every single month. And you can't have that over and over again, because you owe your customers. You are responsible for taking care of your customers. So what we found was the best thing was to pull away. But we had to acknowledge with our customers. And we sat down before them and said, look, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, this is what's happened. Now, there is a chance your painting may still come to you. But if it doesn't, give me a moment in time Give me a little bit of time and I will redo the artwork for you free of charge. Now, some customers would actually pay you again to do the artwork. Others would say, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Your main role is to put the issue right. Don't make excuses. Customers not interested in excuses. That's what children do. Don't make excuses. Don't dilute the facts. Don't expand on the facts. Don't try and protect yourself. The best thing you can do is stay with the facts. This happened. This is what's occurred. This is how I'm going to put it right. Those three things will literally change your professional life. Being honest. People have always got this sort of mentality about being honest, and you know, it terrifies people. And like, yeah, but if what if this happens? What about if that happens? What about if they tarnish me and everything? Here's the thing: if a customer is potentially going to tarnish you, that says more about them than you. Here's the other thing: your audience that you have built up, who love you, are going to be watching how you respond. When I was doing wrestle art paintings, which was a business that we ran for a couple of years on Instagram, all about wrestling paintings, as the name sort of describes, we would be dragged through the coals by a subjective audience who hated my artwork. They were like, oh my goodness, no, you can't be promoting this. This looks like, something's died on the canvas and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And yet you would have other customers that would come and spend $20,000 with you for a series of commission paintings. It's all subjective. But here was the thing. I knew how to conduct myself and how to deal with myself online. That's part of the reason we don't get those negative people attacking us anymore, because I've learned the lesson. When you learn the lesson that Divine Spirit is trying to teach you, those lessons won't keep reappearing in your life. How did I conduct myself? I conducted myself professionally. How did people respond? They responded with, I admired so much the way you conducted yourself despite the way people were speaking to you. That says more than anything else. You can be honest about it. You can hold your hands up and say, yep, I did this. Or, yep, this occurred under my watch, or whatever. But this is how I'm going to make it right. So reliability, consistency, honesty. The final one, transparency. They all go hand in hand. When you can be transparent and you can say, yes, there was an issue. Yes, this happened. This is how I put it right. And you can be honest about it. People will respect you for it. And they will be more willing to do business with you than ever before. Because a lot of the time, customers are going to sit there right in front of you and say, well, what happens if this goes wrong? Well, actually, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, this did go wrong. But this is how we fixed it. We employed a new courier. I did the artwork again. We've never lost another painting since. And if there is ever a major issue, such as a painting being lost, you have a 30-day money-back no guarantee. 30-day money-back no guarantee. 30-day money-back guarantee that protects you. It's done through PayPal. So if there's anything wrong and I decide to run off the planet, you are protected by PayPal. You want to protect your customers as much as possible and let them know that you genuinely care, which is unfortunately, one of the last things oftentimes that businesses think about. It seems to be a dying art that you genuinely care about your customers, but when you do, your customers will care about you and they will back you more than you can imagine. And I know, because I've experienced it for nearly 20 years. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this episode of Creative Business Made Simple, all about building trust. If you have, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share, tell a friend, because it could be the very thing they need to hear in their hour of struggle. If you're interested in getting from where you are to where you want to be, we have the Creative Business Made Simple book available on Amazon, ebook, audiobook, and hardback as well. Brand new, just editioned or added to Amazon. We've also got courses teaching you everything from AI, teaching you everything from how to build a successful creative business, teaching you everything from how to build a successful website, writing your first book, and beyond. Courses are coming all the time, and they are available on the link in the comment section below. And also, We have group coaching with yours truly. You can hang out with me for an hour every single week. How amazing is that? With a whole host of other creative minds as well. And if you want to take things to the ultimate level, I mean really, and have personalized one-on-one service, ultimate connectivity with me, and get from where you are to where you want to be, just like so many other clients have been doing for so many years, we have one-on-one coaching. Now, places are limited to 10. It's 10. So literally, first come, first serve, because we want to make sure that we get and give the greatest amount of service that we possibly can. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more Creative Business Made Simple episodes. Until next time, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next